It's Minecraft, now what? Let's go! Welcome back to another episode of Minecraft, now what? Nick Knock here, standing on top of a cobblestone pillar, and this is the site of the house. Today, we start building. But first, a word from our sponsor. Not really, just kidding. I'm going to explain who this guy is. Come over here. This is the Wandering Trader. He spawns every once in a while around you, and I've always seen him with 2 llamas. He's mostly annoying and gets in the way. However, being a trader, you can click on him sort of like you open a chest, and he has trades. If you have emeralds, which we don't have emeralds, you can mine to get emeralds in mountains. You can mine the ore to get emeralds, or you can trade with villagers in villages to get emeralds. And sometimes he has useful trades, sometimes he doesn't. He's usually leading a couple of llamas, as you see. And although his trades are not always helpful, if you take out the llamas, they will drop leather sometimes. But they also drop the leads with leashes. And those are helpful because you can throw the leash around other animals. So that's who that guy is, the Wandering Trader. So back to our column. This is going to be the site of our starter house that we're finally going to get building today. Real quick, since we will be going up a little bit high, I'll talk about fall damage real quick. I was up 3 blocks, and that is about the limit where if you fall off, you don't take fall damage. If you go up 4 blocks, you might lose some hearts. You go up a little bit higher, let's say we're up 5 blocks now, we take fall damage. So the higher up you go, the more fall damage you will take. And now that we'll be up on tall walls or building our roof, we have to be careful we don't fall off. Maybe from that height we don't have to worry about dying, but you can take a lot of fall damage. One trick you can use to keep yourself from falling off is to crouch. When you crouch, you can step to the edge and even over the edge of a block without falling off. If we're not crouching and we step off, we take fall damage. But if we crouch or sneak, you can step over the edge, and it allows you to target blocks on the side and build yourself a safer way down without having to jump and take fall damage and lose hearts. Making a mess over here, but one more thing. When you are going over the edge, it allows you to bridge over if you're targeting that outer edge, which allows you to get over gaps. It helps build bridges, as we were talking about when we went to go get sand for our glass. So crouching and building over the edge is helpful to keep you from falling, and building platforms and bridges. So just another technique to keep you from falling and trying to keep you safe. So we've cleaned up all the cobblestone. We're going to leave this column here as the center of the build site for our house. One more thing about fall damage, there is an enchantment once you start enchanting, or if you're lucky to find boots with the feather falling enchantment on them, that kind of negates fall damage. There are several levels to feather falling, and depending on the level you're at, the higher up you can take fall damage from. So we're going to come over here and put these leads in here in this leather. We don't need this stuff. What I am going to do is make another bed, and as you might be able to tell my bed is missing, and I will show you why. It's raining again. So in between episodes, I went over and knocked down all the trees, replanted the trees, planted a couple trees closer so I don't have to keep running all over the place for a little bit of wood. Got to be careful when you're planting trees too close to where you're sleeping or close to your structures, because if it gets too dark, you don't want hostile mobs to spawn there and have to worry about that. So we got a lot of wood. I went down and got some more cobblestone, because what you don't want to do when you start building is to break your momentum and have to stop and go get more materials. So I like to stock up on wood. I wanted to stock up on some more cobblestone. And rather than show you all the mining and chopping, I did that in between episodes. But I want to show you, came down here, made the staircase a little deeper, and I started a quarry. So I think a couple episodes ago I was talking about coming down and building a quarry or chopping a lot of wood when I had other plans, and you kind of zone out, and this is what my minds often end up looking like. You might come down looking for extra blocks for building, and you need to get that out of your inventory, or you're looking for ores, which you would end up with a lot of blocks that you need to get out of your inventory. So a mining operation like this is actually helpful. So why I had to make another bed is because we don't have a clock yet, and I can't keep running up to see if it's nighttime. And if you're down in your mines for a while, especially if you're close to the surface, and what we don't want is to come back up and end up having to deal with fighting. So every once in a while we'll come over here and check to see if we can sleep. So I did record while I was digging this out, and I will post that separately in case you're interested in what it's like to zone out digging a quarry. One way of looking for ores or getting blocks, really looking for ores, is maybe to dig a quarry, a huge area, but you end up with a lot of blocks, and if you're not interested or don't need the additional blocks, one other strategy is strip mining, where you dig just one long tunnel. You just keep going. Sooner or later you'll come across some ores. Later on we'll talk a little bit more about strip mine and why I've spaced these out 3 blocks. There's something with the generation and how the blocks reveal themselves and how they generate in clusters, but I won't get into that right now. I want to get to building. And sometimes you pop through to places you've already been. Just close that up. So here we are back up at the build site, up on the surface. I'm gonna cook some more food while I come over here and take a moment to show you a little thing about block placement. So I'm going to come into our chest, just grab a stack of oak logs, grab my food, put this last food there. So I'm going to come into the crafting table and make some more planks, and I'm going to come over here and make one set of stairs, one set of oak slabs, and one set of oak trapdoors. I think I mentioned earlier that blocks will place very differently depending on where you target. So we'll show you how that works. So I'm going to place down oak plank. It's pretty straightforward, right? It's not like barrels. Remember when we put the barrels down, depending on which way you're facing and how you place the barrel, it will orient differently. Plank is just, plank goes down. Now if we take stairs and we put stairs down, right? Pretty straightforward. Stairs go up. Put down another plank here. But if we take the stair and we target the top of the block, the stair will place upside down. See? So this is helpful if you're trying to build an arch, because you can come up here and target the back of the block here, and it's a regular stair, right? You get that, and then you come over here and target the top of the block here, place the stair, There's not really curves in Minecraft, not really circles, but you can kind of depending on how you place your blocks, you can kind of get a curvy, archy type of look. Now slabs, kind of the same thing. If you target the bottom of a block or target the floor, place it pretty straightforward. If you don't have stairs, you can also use slabs as stairs to eliminate having to jump. If you target the top of the block, you will place just like the stair, and it just gives you another option of how to place the slab. A couple interesting things about slabs: if you place a slab on top of a slab, it essentially makes what looks like an oak plank, but when you come over and break it, it breaks back into its two planks. So there's no loss of slab. Another interesting thing is if you are not lighting up, say, the inside of your building enough and you want to prevent mobs from spawning in the dark, if you place a floor of half slabs on the bottom, mobs will not spawn on those half slabs. If you are making a floor using slabs and the slab is on the top half of the block, like this, that's basically a regular floor, regular top of a block surface, and it will allow mob spawns. So if you're trying to stop mob spawns, then build your floor with half slabs targeted on the bottom half of the block. And finally, for now, trapdoors. Trapdoors, kind of the same thing. If we target the bottom of the block, put it down, it opens and closes up. If we target the top of the block, it opens and closes down. Some trapdoors, the way they are designed, it does matter aesthetically how you place them. Some have notches, and depending on the design, you might want it facing up or down so it opens. So it's really the design you're going for where it will matter. So I'll get this all cleaned up and we'll start building. So I have to admit, the build kind of got away from me. After I finished recording the episode, I was looking at the house and thought back to the starter house I would have built when I first started playing the game. I just got so excited about gathering materials and explaining block placement and just actually starting to build the starter house that my mind and my building kind of just went into cruise control. But we're going to keep the build. I'll put it here as a time lapse, and I'll post the full build as a separate video. And in the next episode, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to build the starter house we would have built when we first started playing the game. Well, we did it. We finished the starter house, and here it is. Ta-da! Let's take a look. As we come up, we got a little path that we started, and we'll flesh this out as we go along. Got our steps up to the front door with an awning, just for the look. side. I added another glass pane to let a little bit more light break up that window. It felt kind of closed in with just the 3 panes there. We can come back and detail the outside of the building a little bit more, help it not look so flat. But we have some stairs in here to give a little depth in there and a little ledge there. Adding stairs for depth and ledges can break up the sides of your building and help not them seem so flat. This side. And we're back at the front. So that's our starter house. It feels really good to finally get that done. No more sleeping outside. You like how it turned out? Let me know what you think. Any questions or comments? Leave them down below. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.